Welcome back to this video series in creating an elections dashboard in Power BI. Now that we have formatted the data in order to create the visualizations in Power BI, let's begin and create those visualizations. Alright, open Power BI. Then you can click the Get Data button to upload the data. We're going to connect through an Excel file, so click on Excel and connect. And this is the worksheet that we will be working from. Now we want to visualize all three election cycles, so we will select all three election cycles, and you can see how the format looks over here, and to make sure you have the right data, and it seems that we do. So let's push load. Alright, so Power BI kind of works a little similar to Excel in that you can create different work pages on the bottom by clicking here for different visualizations that you want to do. So for this one, we will be creating a map to visualize the voting precincts in Power BI. For now, we need to add the map feature in Power BI to visualize the map. So click on the More Visual button on the top. From App Source, and we're going to search for a drill down Choropleth map, and add it to the visualizations. It should appear on this row right there, and you can see right there that it has successfully loaded. Now, to create the visualizations, first we will click on this button, and it will populate a box to import the data. Now, these are the tables that we will be working from. So we will start with the 2016 data and put the necessary information through there. Alright, for the locations, you want to put the precinct code. So just drag that and drop it right there. For the values, you want to look at the percentage of the vote. So let's find that field. And drag that into there. And also, since it is summing up all the information, we don't want that. We're just going to change it to average. Alright. And now for the tooltip, which will be additional information once you click on a precinct to see, you want to add the precinct name as well as the total votes. Alright, now that we have done that, we will go to the Format button right here, click on the Shape button, and this is where we will upload the map. Now remember, in the previous video we uploaded the map link into a GitHub page in order to pull in the map into Power BI. So the projection is currently Mercatus, and we want to change that to Albers USA. Now to get the link for the Athens Clarke County JSON file, you just navigate to my GitHub page click on the JSON file that has been uploaded. Click the raw button and then just copy and paste this link into the space right here, level 1 for Power BI. And as we can see, the map has populated with the precinct information for the 2016 election. Now this is a drill down choropleth map, so if we had more information we want to drill down, suppose we had a statewide map that we want to do by precinct, we could add that to the first level and then the precinct by precinct map in the second level. But for right now, we're just going to focus on the county-wide precinct for Athens-Clarke County. Alright, so now we will do some formatting to the data, the map, to get it in a way that is more understandable. Now click here and we're going to add a few slicers in order to slice the data. Slicers are essentially just filters so we want to specifically filter specific information. So we'll click on this slicer button. Oops, don't do that. Alright, well, make sure you're not clicked on this, otherwise it'll just override the map. So just click on the slicer feature, and the field we want to add is the party field. So put that there, and now we can essentially filter the map by party. We also want to add another slicer that will let us choose what race we want to view. So click on the slicer button again and drag in the contest field. Awesome. Okay, so at least for the elections in Athens-Clarke County, the Democratic candidate won every single precinct. So there won't be a spectrum showing, that a Republican won a precinct and a Democrat won a precinct. So we're just going to separate the map by Democratic votes and Republican votes so that we can see how a candidate did for each party in the map feature. So just click on the slicer button Democratic, and we're just going to look at the President of the United States race. And now we're gonna do a little more formatting to get the color scheme to look like something like you would see on election day. So we go back to the format button, make sure you click on the map, data colors, and it will go from the minimum value to the maximum value. So we want to kind of do this so that this will be the darkest blue, this will be a medium shade blue, and this will be the lightest blue, to kind of show where to start from the color scheme. Alright, so we're just gonna select a dark blue right here for the maximum, a little more lighter shade for here for the center, and the lightest shade for the lowest. And now you can see which precinct a candidate did better at and got more of the percentage of the vote. As you can see on the tooltip, the percentage of the vote is a decimal point. We want to change that to a percentage, as well as change some of the labels for this. So to change the average percentage vote to a percentage sign, we're going to go over here and click on this. And now, right here, we click on the percentage sign, and we will see it's been turned into a percentage. Alright, let's go back to the fields and change this first precinct name in just to precinct name. So click on that and rename for this visual, and just let's call it precinct. And now it's just say precinct and not first precinct. And for the average of percentage of vote, we're just going to change it to a percent sign of vote to make it more easier to read. So you just click back here, rename this visual, and enter it in. Alright, great. And one more thing, we want to change the title of this. So make sure you click on the graphic, go to the format button, and make sure the title button is on. And now you could just go to the title text and rename this. We're going to call it 2016 Democratic Voting Percentage. Alright, awesome. And we want to align that to a little more center. And great. Now we have visualized the data for the Democratic Party for the 2016 election. And if we wanted to just navigate to another race, let's say we wanted to see what the senator's race would look like, we could do that and it will update the information automatically. And so just repeat that process for the Republican vote total. So that's how you create the map in Power BI. But there's so much more tons of visualizations you can add. So I've done this previously, that is on my GitHub page, that you can kind of look more into depth. This is the map of the Georgia election results for 2020, and it's showing what candidate won each county and the percentage of vote. As you can see, if a Democratic candidate won, it will be above 50%, and if the Republican candidate won, they would have above 50% as well. And like I mentioned on the previous video, this is in a negative value because we want to create the spectrum from Republican to Democrat to visualize what candidate or what party won that county. And this is how you would have to approach it in Power BI. There's also other visualizations. Here's a visualization of the turnout for each election, and we can do it by precinct. The breakdown of voting, how votes were cast by party in Athens, Clark County. A breakdown of the early voting and election day voting by party. Looking at 2020, you can see there's a lot of Democratic votes that came in by mail or advanced in person, and relatively a small number that were cast on election day. I've also created visualizations to kind of show the percent change of votes from 2018 general election versus 2016 in the governor's race versus the presidential race. And then the same for the 2020 presidential election versus the 2016 presidential election. So the darker blues is where there was an increase in voter turnout and voter totals, and the red is where there was a decrease. And so this precinct has a decrease, and so we can, if we wanted to, just click on it and find out further why that precinct went down in the percentage of vote. Okay, so that concludes this video series. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And I hope to make future videos in the future. Thank you.